So step number 2 is adding the projectile. So we're going to add lightning bolts. So we're going to use lightning bolts as our projectile. So when we're looking at this, what we want to do is we want to add our lightning bolt. So underneath our lightning bolt, we want to do a couple different things. So when we're looking at this, we want, if when clicked, we want to make sure that our lightning bolt is indeed hid. So we're going to go to looks and we're going to put hide. And the only time that we want this to appear is when we go to shoot, quote unquote, the lightning bolt. So we want to hide it, and actually I want to minimize the size of that, so I'm going to actually set the size to 25%, so it's kind of small, and I actually want to have it pointing in the direction of negative 90 degrees, so pointing in the direction, and in this case I want negative 90, so that gives me my left projection with that. So I'm going to add that. So now when I do this, I want to have something happen. So what I want to happen, so I want to be back on the spaceship, and when I do something here, so if I click this, I want to set a second set of commands. So if I click this, then what do I want to happen? Well, forever I want something to take place, and that forever that I want to take place is an if function. So if, and we're going to use spacebar for firing, so we're going to be saying, okay, if key space is pressed, then what do we want to have happen? Well, we want to create a clone. So we're going to go to and I apologize, I don't remember where create a clone. There it is. Create a clone of, and in this case we don't want myself, but we want a clone of the lightning. So now we're going to look at the lightning. So now every time that I click the spacebar, I'm going to create a clone of the lightning. Now what we have to do is code the lightning bolt. So going back into the lightning bolt, we're going to create the code for the lightning bolt. So instead of using when the green flag is created, so since we're creating a clone, the nice part about that is we could have a receiving piece. So we could say when, in this case, we want a clone is or when I start as a clone, and there it is right there. So when I start as a clone, what do I want to do? I want to go to spaceship, so motion here. I want to go to, and I want to actually pick an actual object. So I want to go to spaceship, so that way no matter where the spaceship is, it'll be showing up. So now the next code that I have to do is show. So I'm going to show myself as the lightning bolt. And then I am going to repeat the following until I touch the edge. So I want to do repeat until, and we're going to say touching. So we're going to do a sensing piece. So touching, and no longer the mouse pointer, but we want the edge. So the edge of the screen. And we want to change our Y, since we're only moving up and down, we want to change our Y by, and you can change this object to whichever you like, but we're going to do 10, and then to end that, we are going to delete this clone. So, looking at that, I want to test this out. So as I shoot my lightning bolt, you can see that I am producing lightning bolts. I can shoot just one, I can shoot multiples, which is something that we're going to work on momentarily. But that completes step 2 of the projectile.